one of the highlights of the day is the award for the best business book. And I'm inviting Ben, CEO of First, come on stage and explain everything about this award, and then we will move towards announcements of the award.
Moving on to the award section, this is one of the highlights of Business Festival. We are the only festival that awards business. We are independent consultant to award business award. We are the only festival that awards, and this is the fifth edition of the award, which is called the BBLF Best Business Award. We have two people waiting online, so I just move into the process, which is so the reason we instituted this award is to celebrate, encourage, promote business writing. Although lots of business books are being written in recent years, but we want to promote more, create more writers. We want to help the writers as well. Come to our fest, learn more, network. And of course, we had the privilege of using Seth name because he was declared the world's best management guru twice when he was alive. And I happened to write a biography of his. It's called Prahalad, Mind of the Futurist. And so our mission is to promote and recognize original, impactful, thought-provoking business books written by Indian authors. Okay, so previous winners. So I said this is the fifth edition. The winner of first edition was Susutu. I'm sure all of you know. He won for his book, The Cell, the Art and the Science, which is an amazing book. If you have not read it, please read it. Next. Lawyers Stop Wearing My Socks, amazing book again. It's a story of how you can be an entrepreneur from village without much of training, but family training, not too much of experience. The next one. Yes, this was surprising pick. I thought some other book would make it, but the book was really good. We thought we all know of Cut Story. We think we all know of Cut Story. And we also have the arrogance to say that it is a copycat. Okay? But what the book does is that it goes into the process, the execution of making it happen. Making execution is as important as having an idea. All of us, if we list every week, we'll get a business idea. But very few can execute it and at scale. So he really captures that in his book, worth reading. This book, nobody thought, you don't think this is a business book. But it made it to be number one. The jury decided, and it has a business essence in terms of how to integrate LGBTQ into workplace. So extending the boundary of business. So here we come to the shortlist this year, 5 shortlists. Can you see the names from back? Yeah? Okay. I don't have to read it out. So stay with this. I'll just announce the process with which we pick. And we have Deborah here. Deborah, can you stand? Give her a big round of applause. So she is a research associate, and she works with Mr. Ramurai's office. He was chairman of Tata Consultancy. She's been with TCS for a long time, and she's been with us for a long time. Thank you, Deborah, for being here with us. So the process. So I think we are the only one who can correct where we take popular view, also the jury view, while selecting the winner. Typically, it's either the popular view or the jury view, and both can be, manipulated. So we thought get the best of both and give the winner whoever gets the maximum numbers rated. So the popular view, what we do is we take the ranking, ratings and reviews of each of the top 10 books, and add it up. And the top 5 books that get the maximum rating, we select them and give those 5 books to the jury. And the jury, when the jury gets it, they won't know who's come first, who's second, who's third. So it's an independent totally. And whoever in our 4 editions so far, the ones that have come first, second, and popular are not got the award. So, but when we take the average of jury scores and the popular scores, we have a very few winner. So that kind of gives proof that our model is working, not perfect. You can find big holes in it. I won't be able to explain or explain it not in a convincing way. Process is done. Can I invite Rishi, Professor Rishi? Please give me a hand. So Rishi has been a dear friend, not just of me, of Management Magazine when I started, and of the BBLF. Since the last 4-5 years, I think in the first 3 years he was the director of IIM. We kept in touch, but not much. So thank you for having really great to have you, Rishi. Rishi is an author. He's currently the director of IIM. He's the author of 2 well-received books. One is 8 Steps to Innovation, and the second is From Jugaad to Systematic Innovation. So I keep, whenever he calls, he dreads calling me, because the question I ask him is, when is his next book? So I did do that 3 days back as well. Okay. So I would like Raghu as well on the stage, please. We are going to announce the winner. Yeah, so we have 3 jury members. Jessie Paul is a marketing wizard. She's been the CMO of Wipro and Infosys. Right now she's an independent thought leader. And Malvika Parikar, she was the CEO of Saatchi and a brand leader, thought leader in branding. All 3 are friends, but accomplished in their own space. Really grateful for them for having done this. Yes, we are now ready to know who the winner is. Okay, so go back. We'll spend just 30 seconds. Who would be the winner? Just shout. Let's say take a majority. Who do you think is the winner? Yes, number 2. Okay. Going by the book cover, yes. Book cover. Okay, so nobody seems to have got it right. Okay, one last chance. Yes. Don't go by the cover. Okay, so we are ready to announce. Rishi, you know the winner. Please give me my mic. Yes, please announce the winner.
Yeah, so the winner this year is Winning in the Digital Age by Nithin Singh.
Hello Rishi, hello. You guys hear me?
Yeah, hi Nithin, how are you?
Very good. It's early morning here, but happy to be here.
Congratulations, Nithin.
Thank you so much. It was quite a pleasant surprise.
So Nathan, do tell us a little bit about the core takeaways from your book, because there have been lots of books written on digital transformation, but I mean I have a few of my own observations. But first, I'd like to hear it from you. What do you think is the specific or distinctive contribution of your book?
See, look, digital is something, we are in the digital age, and, we all know what it is about. Um, and there is, there are a lot of startups, there are billions, in fact, trillions of dollars being spent every year on digital. The phenomena itself is well understood, and as you said, there are lots of books and lots of material around it. You don't need material because we are living it every day. But what has really intrigued me over the last 25 years of my professional journey is that there's a lot of money being spent, but the failure rate on digital is very, very high. Yeah. So $2.5–3 trillion are spent every day, every year, I'm sorry, on digital. But 70 to 80% of it goes waste, or 70 to 80% of initiatives fail. And that is, sorry, is there a sound issue? Uh, so that is the phenomena, the very high failure rate on digital, which is really, which I think is a big issue. Because if we can improve that, then would that not be great from a overall productivity perspective, both corporate productivity, but also individual human productivity. And that is the topic which I have really tried to focus on. That how do you improve the success rate on digital, and the perspective I've tried to bring, Rishi, is that of a practitioner's perspective. Because there are a lot of books on this written by theorists, who are projecting into the future, and that's all great. But the real issue here is the how to. It's not the why and the what. The why and the what are well established, and it's the how to, which I think I have tried to, given my set of experiences initially at McKinsey, then leading Fidelity in India, and then at Flipkart. And I was happy to see Mahir's book, winning in one of the previous years on Flipkart. So I think it is that combination of experiences that I think I've tried to bring into this book.
Thanks a lot. Audience, in case you have questions, keep it ready. My question, Nithin, is that this is a startup led fest. And when we speak of digital transformation, it is typically of companies who are already established and struggling with transforming. So, what's the takeaway for startups from here?
Ben, we in the digital age, my main thesis is that everybody, needs to be an entrepreneur. That's the point I make. That's the only way you can succeed. Whether it's a startup or whether you are in a you're in an existing company. What's often called legacy businesses. I spent a lot of time in the book, actually talking about leadership, and also what young professionals need to do. Because this whole phenomenon of digital is not just about technology or business and technology. It finally gets to the human level. And I think that's really what I've tried to do. And I think that is very relevant for all of our young entrepreneurs. So when I was in college, I was very influenced by this book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. So I've tried to, that's what has inspired me, that, bring some of those building blocks for our, young professionals and students. So, I think they would certainly find that to be helpful.
Anyone has a question?
Yeah, I just want to add a quick point, Benedict. First of all, I just like to say that I've been very impressed by Nithin's ability to juggle many different roles. In fact, I had the pleasure of hosting him in IIM Indore as well, when I was there. And I must say he mesmerized the students during his interaction with them. So he's been able to transcend, as he said, many different kinds of organizations, working in McKinsey, Fidelity, and then Flipkart. And now, of course, he's in Incido, which is a much younger company. But I must say, I'm really happy to see his versatility in also writing such a wonderful book. So congratulations again, Nithin.
Thank you, Rishi.
Okay, so one last question. Take us through your process of writing your book. How long did it take? What were the challenges? As a student,
I'm sure there are many authors here, including Professor Rishi. Writing a book is a very tough job. Being a CEO is much easier. I've been writing for over 10 years, really, and as Rishi also mentioned that I've been giving a lot of speeches. I've been because I felt that as I was learning that I should also share it. And so whenever I would give a speech, I would also write a blog about it. I would write, articles about it. So when COVID happened, I then had the opportunity. It was probably the first time in my career that I was at home, and I did have some downtime to kind of get my thoughts together. And there was content, that I had developed, over 10 years. So it did not really happen overnight at all. But then I got the downtime to really bring it together. I really didn't think I could do a book. But book, I said, "Oh wow, this is a surprise! I never thought that," and that really kind of then gave me the motivation to take some time and pull it. But I did then pull it together quite in very short period of time. I took like 3-4 months to really get it together. But the content had been in development for almost 10 years.
great. Congratulations again, and wish you good luck for many more books to come.
Thank you.
Since it's early morning here, you're free to go back to sleep. Unless you want to stay with us for another 10 minutes.
Thank you. I think I will check out now. Thank you.
Okay. So, Rishi, coming to you, you went through all the factors. Compared to you being a jury last 2 years as well. Your observations from this year's election.
I just put back the slide so that I just make sure I cover all the books. So I think just to set the context, I think one thing we have seen in recent years, and Benedict did mention this, is that the number of business books in India seems to have gone up, which is a good thing. I haven't counted, but at least if I just look at the range of books we see around, it's certainly gone up, which is certainly something which is good to note. One thing I liked about this year's shortlisted collection is the authors were from very different backgrounds. I mean, you have somebody like Vijaypat Singhania, who comes from a very illustrious business family. You, on the other hand, have somebody like Rajesh Srivastava, who's actually an IMB alum, who has been in a business career, a very much more traditional business career in very large companies. You have Saral Mukherjee, who is a very popular teacher in IIM Ahmedabad and has been winning the Best Teacher Awards on several occasions. And this is part of the IIM Ahmedabad book series, which is trying to reach out to a wider audience. And of course, you have this book with this really wonderful title that caught all your imagination, which is How I Quit Google to Sell Samosas. So, I mean, I think the nice thing about this year's collection was certainly the range. The range was quite wide, and it certainly gave different perspectives. What we can, of course, see is that at least two of these books, both Nithin's and Rajesh's, are more focused on what are the new business rules in a way. So it's looking forward. Saral tried to bring what is otherwise might be considered quite a dull subject of supply chain and operations management to life. So I really liked the effort he made in doing that. And of course, Vijaypat Singhania, as many of you might know, after being at the helm of a very important business group, some internal dynamics in their family has actually resulted in his even losing the house in which he stays. So this is a very autobiographical story, but it's around the personal events he has gone through in the last few years. So I'll certainly say a very wide and sort of broad range of topics covered here. But if I look at sort of in-depth kind of insights coming, I would say that I might have seen slightly better collections in earlier years. To me, Nithin's was a kind of standout in this collection in terms of, even though digital has been written about a lot, he was very comprehensive in his coverage. He looked at it from the angle of different businesses and industries. He looked at the different building blocks and how they contribute to it. He looked at the organizational issues. So I found it very comprehensive. That's one of the main reasons I chose his book, because he really looked at this whole digital transformation in a very comprehensive and sort of incisive way. But I still think there's tremendous scope for writing good business books in India. Currently, I'm trying to work on understanding how startups scale up well, and I'm trying to read all the books that are available. And I find there are some, but there's certainly a lot more stories in India. So I'm hoping that we'll see many more of those stories being written up in the years ahead. Thank you.
As we welcome Jessie, she's joining us from Singapore. Hi, Jessie.
Hi.
Hi. So, before I ask you to speak, I forgot to mention one process that we follow. What is the formula we give the jury to select a best book? Which is, first is originality of the idea. Second is the impact of the book. What impact the book can make to thought process or to the industry, to sector that it is addressing. And the third is ease of reading. Ease of reading, good language. So you may argue why give people importance to all the three. If we give different numbers, we get more complexity. So to keep it simple, we give equal importance to all the three. So they have a score, they pick based on, they give scores to each of these segments, and then whoever gets the maximum.
Sorry, Benedict, just one small pitch in between. We need more women authors of business books, by the way. Yeah. Almost all the books we are reading are written by men. So I'm glad the jury was, had women majority, but I certainly hope we'll see many more women authored books in the years ahead. Thank you.
Yes, that's a good question. Okay, Jessie?
Sure. Since we're starting with the plugs, I do have a business book myself. But it was a great opportunity to read 5 books pretty much in a week. And I think one of the positive takeaways from a book is that once you've read it, you're never the same. Some aspect of that remains with you. So I had a takeaway from every book. So Quit Google to Sell Samosas was actually a fun read. And you did learn a lot about different types of cuisine. So that was one good takeaway from there. Vijay Singhania's book, again, there were many takeaways. One key one, of course, is not to hand over your property to your children without a contract. So the new rules of business, again, I felt was a great crash course in the developments. And the operations book, he tried very hard to take what I considered a very boring subject and make it philosophical and interesting. And categorized organization like different categories, which made it a little interesting and engaging. And I'm somebody who started from operations research in college, so I think every book contributed something. But in terms of the framework that Benedict mentioned, definitely we did have a winner, and that was Winning in the Digital Age. And so, congratulations, Nithin, for that. Um, I also think that a lot of credit goes to Benedict in persevering with his conference and making books and business books cool. And I think that's a huge achievement as well. So thank you for the opportunity and congratulations to all the authors of our book.
Thank you. Yes, so let me take this opportunity to mention Jesse's book, which has done very well, article book. It's called No Money Marketing, From Upstart to Big Brand on a Frugal Budget. So let me read it again. No Money Marketing, From Upstart to Big Brand on a Frugal Budget. So whoever is interested in marketing, please take it up.
Okay, I have to correct you. That was my first book. I have a second book which is Marketing Without Money.
Oh, marketing without money.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, all the marketing departments in companies will be taking you there. Okay. Okay. So thanks a lot. Stay there. We have our third jury here. Malika Harita. She's going to be around. So she just sent a very short video to relay that. So while he's fixing that question to Jesse, you still around? Can you hear Jesse?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you wanted.
Very honored at your invitation and sharing the podium with the Professor of Chief Nutrition and my Lord Jesse Paul, who I have long admired. It was an interesting experience. 5 books which were of completely different genres, though they all are under the category of business. We had Elephants and Cheetahs by Salman Mukherjee, which talks about production management. We had Nafkaria's highway to sell samosas, which is about his adventures with the kitchen that he set up, with the new rules of business by Rajesh Srivastava. Vijay Singh Anya's personal memoirs. More from, he writes from his heart, talks more about his life than about his business. And finally, Living in the Digital Age by Nithin Seth. So a wide variety of books, and so I enjoyed the experience of reading each of them. Probably I'm old-fashioned, but it is my strong belief that books need to have an identity. They need to, they cannot be all things to all men. So they need to have a very clear identity of what their purpose or objective is. Secondly, the book has to be structured with a proper beginning, middle, and end. It cannot be a ramble through the woods, interspersed with personal anecdotes and quotations. No doubt, that makes books readable, and I think that's what publishers try for in this attention deficit age. That doesn't really make a good book, does it? Why books need to be readable, I completely agree with that. All of the layers of old tomes which we have to pour over, books definitely need to be more readable. At the same time, there has to be some practice. There has to be something that you can take away from the book and say, hey, I learned something new by reading this particular book. Forced fitting management of business knowledge at intervals doesn't make it a management book. books have to be well thought through, interesting, very clear about their purpose, and obviously well written. One of the books that I read recently, which was, I found, met all my criteria, was Quantum Marketing by Raj, the headmaster. And I found that really interesting read, very useful read. There was a lot of material and a lot of learning from that book. For sort of 5.2 but saying was a book that I really enjoyed. But I'm not asking the authors of today to write textbooks on it, but I'm asking them to pay a little more attention to the structure, the formatting, the identity, and the content. In my belief, that's what makes a great.
Obviously, she doesn't know who the winner is because she sent this 2 days back. Yeah, thank you, Seth, for coming back. Let's wind this up.
This Ben, the components of the award, cash prize.
Okay, so great. So the the prize money is 1 lakh. I wish we could do more. We could get good sponsors for the award. But right now, the award sponsor is TBS Capital. Thank you to Gopal Srinivasan, the CEO of TBS Capital. So, Nithin will release money to you very soon.
Thank you.
So, thank you to say, unless you both have some words.
A little bit louder.
Yeah, on the award. Great. So this seems to be something like so thank you, Jesse, for joining us from Singapore. Nithin joining us from New Jersey. Look at an international festival. We're using technology, and in the last 4 days we had authors from US, Indian author from USA. So we have gone international truly. And I take this as a compliment that we will try to make business books cool. I think it should be that. And that's the way we can promote books, business writing, business reading. With those words, Raghuvi wants to
I just want to share a couple of slides. One is, of course, when I was joining IIM Ahmedabad as a faculty member, between the years 26 assistant professor, 81, 82 cusp, I think Rishikesh was just about clearing his doctoral program here. Right? Maybe a year or two later. But because I was already in the research phase, I can't say I was a teacher, but I was a professor when I was a student. I'm very proud of a student who has come such a long way and retired as a director. Stepped up as a director. Great. The other thing I want to share with you all was, which I mentioned in the morning when Manish Sabharwal was here. He is also a co-founder along with Nithin of New India Foundation. This New India Foundation essentially supports works, database works in India based on information post 1947. It could be business, it could be about India, it could be sociological, it could be political science, whatever. But they give significant support to the authors. And if they are lecturers somewhere, they are given effort to take time off and use the scholarship to finish a book. So there is that opportunity for new writers. I just want to share that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Raghu. That's a lovely opportunity. Thanks a lot. And with that, we come to the end of this section, this module. But before you go off stage, I'd love for Raghu to please hand over a token of appreciation to Rishi. Thanks a lot, Rishi, for taking the time out and coming over. Thanks a lot. Yes. Thank you, Jesse.